if it was like I don't know if it was
You're
like
describing being led
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Which is
by the function of life, just the power of life.
it just always like I don't want to say it always just works out because it doesn't always just work out, but it feels like
Doesn't
like
it?
the other day I was talking to
Everybody, what's going on? This is From the Grave podcast. You already know who I am, Scott Russell. Today we have a very, very special guest, and his name is Jason Strout. Jason is considered one of the most respected striking coaches in the world. He's in a number of corners in the UFC. You see him all the time behind the cage, coaching, training, and developing fighters. Whether you're new or you're a seasoned vet, this guy knows how to train fighters. You're going to want to listen up to this episode. He's one of the most unique individuals I've ever met. We get into just everything extreme, what it's like to grow up with that piece in you that just wants to fight and get into trouble and skateboard and mess with things, and how we carry that into our life in a positive manner. Everybody help me welcome Jason Strout.
What's the eternal principle?
But one.
Which is?
Well, we call it God, but that personifies it.
so what do you think what do you think opened that up?
Specifically this breathwork stuff.
Yeah.
And just
I mean, to be honest, like I've seen people do it and I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, it looks like your leg's weird as hell.
I mean, I understand the reasoning behind it. I don't know, just sometimes I'm not sold on it. Maybe I need to be more open to it, but I guess maybe I do it in other ways, kind of like, like get deep inside. You're like, for a while I tried to do like meditation. I like downloaded one of those apps and I like, it was like during the time of like, I guess COVID. So it was already weird because like,
Yeah.
you didn't know where the world was going, I guess. I didn't know where I was going or where I was going to end up. And I was like back living with my mom, and it was pretty cool because like when do you ever get the chance to like, like hang out with your mom again? And like at this age, like you can't wait. Like when I got left like 18, 19.
Completely different
And I was out, dude, but I was like, well,
Yeah.
now I want to like hang out with my family.
Yeah.
And well, anyways, I just kind of like, I was like, well, maybe I'll try this meditation thing. Man, it is so difficult to try to, I mean, for me, I can't sit still. Like, I mean, even just now, I took a nap on the beach to try to like calm my mind to sleep for 20 minutes is impossible. It's like I got the eyes closed and I lay in bed at night and it's like 1,000 miles per hour. So to focus and try to get, to meditate and just focus on nothing, your breath or whatever it is, it's so difficult. But then when you're done, you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So I could see, why people do it. And I'm sure it's more just a focus, right? I mean, I guess I don't know much about it, but I guess you're just so focused on whatever it is you're doing, you kind of let go of everything, right?
Yeah, it's more like, the mind kick and screams all the time. It's got a lot of shit to say. It's always talking. And you're a pensive guy. You're very deep in thought. Like even like some of your interviews that I've seen and I've like known of. We met like 5 years ago. I feel like
so,
at RTR with Jared and
that's where it was. I was trying to think of where it was, and I was like, oh yeah.
Got a few dinners together and shit like that.
Yeah.
But long story short, you're a pensive guy. Like you get deep in thought and you're very reflective, as am I. But when I stop and I'm not, screen printing and building and creating and doing all this shit, it's like you start to watch the mind fire. And one of the best descriptions of meditation I've ever heard, just to keep it as simple as possible, is to allow your thoughts to be free range, free range chickens. Like they're there. I don't want to focus the thought. I don't want to stop the thought. I don't want to shut the mind off because I'm never fucking gonna. I'm not a mystical saint. And just to like let it be.
Do you feel like you feel like you miss things then, or like because it is so like chickens running around the yard and you can't catch a chicken, they're everywhere, right? I mean, so I got like thousands of chickens.
You don't want to catch them. You just want to watch them.
Yeah,
you look at that one. Look at the 1,000. Look at that one.
I guess that makes sense. I guess that's a good way to look at it. I just feel like sometimes I maybe could have, I don't know, done more or been more focused on a path. I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess I kind of am, but I have a tendency to kind of like, I don't realize I'm focusing sometimes when I am, and it's just always like scattered up there. It's always like all over the place. You know what I mean? Like just like if you could open it's funny. So like I've been talking to I got a good friend back home, and we were talking about like sketchbooks and like you've been drawing forever and he's like, dude, I'd love to see your sketchbooks from back in the day. I'm like, dude, they were a mess. Like his were like beautiful and like like curated and like had a thought purpose to it and like more artistic, and mine was just like walking into like a bathroom at the Port Authority with just scribbles and damage everywhere. It's like I would start with one thing and then I would like draw another thing and then I draw over that thing, and then before you know it, the whole page is like, and that's what I feel like goes on in there. It's like it just keeps like going and going and going,
And like, dude, an important point talking like this, because there's going to be a ton of people that are like, dude, fucking same. And anyone that ever starts meditation, they go, oh, I can't meditate, bro. Dude, I just can't say. But here's the thing. If you can think, you can meditate.
Yeah.
It's just letting yourself think and not being annoyed by it, perhaps.
Yeah.
But like, that's how you're built. That's how I'm built.
Yeah.
That's how I used to sketch too. It's random. It's ADHD kind of. It's fire. Dude, I would obsess about skating. I would just go outside and practice tricks for 12 hours, and I needed to.
But it's funny that you find that, because probably nothing else you can focus on that long, right? Like school was like, why am I go to school to hang out with people. Like it wasn't like I was there to like learn anything.
I really got to ace this test, man.
Well, no, it was like it was there because I knew that's where everybody was hanging out.
Yeah,
like if it was a house, I'd just hang out there all day.
Yeah.
But I couldn't focus on anything at school. Like this conversation, I just lost it again, right? But to be able, like what you just said, like where you just do that one thing over and over and over and over and over. It's I don't know what that is, where you find it and you're like,
I mean, dude, you got it.
I know. I do it all the time. Like I think
it transforms.
Yeah.
I think it transforms. I think it's like this pocket of fire when we're that age where we're just like, I used to just build ramps, like just find like just random pieces of wood and build.
Yeah.
You just
at a job site somewhere, you're like,
right.
And then you get older, you're like, wait a minute, that cost a lot. Like when I started doing construction, I was like, the sheet of plywood is not cheap. And I'd be like walking down the street with like two of them, like build some shitty
like
ramp and then paint it and then whatever. And I'm like, those dudes probably came back like, oh, I ordered X amount and now they're not here. I'm like,
dude,
sorry, construction workers out there. I didn't mean
for
to
real.
do it.
Honestly, like
I found it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a scrap pile,
We would go into houses that were getting framed.
Oh, yeah.
And like early, like 6 a.m. and just fucking tip them up. We'd have a fucking mini ramp in there before we could say like, let's go. And that was just the way. So I think that
people
some
do
kids,
that anymore. Do kids do that anymore?
I don't think you can, not down here. Maybe like up in the cut.
Maybe.
Like where I'm from, but no, everyone's got cameras now. You can't do it.
Yeah, I know, dude. You can't get away with anything. Well, you
Back
can.
in the day, you just knew the kids were by, you knew the homies were at the construction site, so you needed to go there.
You can get away with it now, I think sometimes, because nobody's paying attention. Like the stuff
it's like a double-edged sword.
Like the stuff I've done now, where it's like, maybody's looking. Maybe they'll catch a flick of me doing something, but most of them are just staring. Like you go to an intersection and like everybody's head goes down. It's like, all right, I can like, I don't know, do whatever you got to do. Like there's not a lot of people paying attention. You know what I mean? But if they are, you're getting video, you're getting recorded. You know what I mean? So yeah, there is that.
What year were you born? How old were you?
I'm 77. I'm 77 years old. Look good, don't I? I was born in 77. So I'm 48. I'll be 49.
10 years my elder. Yeah. So you were like,
how weird is that to say that, to have that, like, I'll be 50, dude.
It's
and
bizarre.
Soon?
Dude, even trying to scroll to like the 1988, like when you're putting in your info, it's like, damn, I'm scrolling now, dude.
I know, man. It's like, okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, dude. I don't know, whatever.
Dude, I got kids that are like, I work in the treatment space, so you get like new admissions. You get kids that are born in 2006.
Wild.
And you're just like, click, 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 bang, bang, bang. I am not going to make it.
You're like, like I remember that you're kind of,
But we're the half-breeds.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We got to live the entirety of one life in pure and utter freedom.
Yeah.
Skating and construction and, just
disappearing all day.
Disappearing, bro. Coming back when it's dark. That's it. Figure it out.
Maybe a payphone you call home.
Yeah, just scarf and hamburger helper. You know what I mean? Like,
whatever you could get.
Yeah.
Stealing Jolt from the store and getting crazy.
Jolt, stealing honey buns, just like trying to come up.
Oh, man. You got $2 for the day and you make it last,
$2 for the day. Packing now and later is just ripping them all day. It's all you're eating and skating.
You never drink water for some reason.
Never.
No, man.
What was that about?
I don't know. I'm thirsty.
Just Surge. You remember Surge? Oh.
You just drink soda when you're thirsty. Like, yeah, that's great. I'm hydrated now.
Just ruining your... Dude, the diet that I grew up on was... I look back, I don't know how I survived. Actually, I really didn't survive. got into serious drug addiction. It was not okay.
Yeah, one thing leads to another, right? Man, obsession.
Dude, I think, obsession. So, all right, so we both got that fire.
Yeah.
Where did that lead you? Because you're like you came into my garage, you're like, you seen all the shit that you're like, screen printing, I had the bag hanging, you grabbed the skateboard, you're like, you got all the toys in here. And I'm like, dude, we are the same person. So like, where did that fire take you?
I mean, I don't know, I guess me sitting on this chair right now, right? Like, I mean,
Fair.
it's funny.
Did you stumble into the fight game? Or was it a purpose?
No, I don't know if, I don't know if anything is a purpose. I feel like everything just kind of happens. So like,
Couldn't agree more.
I liked, you like fighting. You watch fight movies as a kid, Rocky. You watch Bloodsport, and like
Fire.
Yeah, it's just like, and I always I used to like watching hockey, but I'd only watch it for fighting. And I'd have like VHS tapes of just fighting. I'd go to like the mall. I think it was like Suncoast Video back then, and you get like a VHS tape of like hockey fights or like old kickboxing fight, like anything I could find on
Old
fighting.
boxing
Once I
matches
kind of
and
got like excited about it, I would just try to find anything and everything about fighting. And I always kind of wanted to do it. And then I had a friend who went to a kickboxing gym in Milwaukee. He was also in the hardcore scene, so everybody kind of like knew each other through that. For some reason, like that early 90s seemed like kickboxing was like popular in the hardcore scene. I don't know if it's just because of dancing with the kicks or I don't know, but it all kind of like led me on that path of being like, well, maybe I should try this. Like I like boxing. I watched it, didn't understand it. I just like fighting. Like I said, the movies. And then I, went to a fight, said, I'm going to do this, walked into the gym, like, that following Monday or whatever after the fight. And I was like, yeah, I want to fight. I want to do this. Like, like a lot of things that you say you're going to do and then it doesn't really happen. It's like, what's like, that was 99. It's 2026 now. So it's like, so I guess some things I can focus on, and it's like, I think it was all the same kind of things. Like I remember going to a park as a kid, and I kind of liked, I think I saw like skateboarding. I don't even know when the first time I saw skateboarding or like BMX biking. It was probably,
I don't know when I saw
it was probably like a movie. It was probably, I know it wasn't
Yeah.
like Gleaming the Cube because I watched like Gleaming the Cube later. Like that was like the Friday or Saturday night. You go to the Blockbuster or whatever, you get like, hopefully it was there, Gleaming the Cube, rad, and whatever else you could find that had bike. Like even that time when
What was that Disney movie with the bladers? Remember the rollerbladers? And it was like going down like the Brink, dude. That shit. Yeah, I bought. I remember like carving out like grind spots on my rollerblades.
so you can
Airborne.
airborne.
What was the snowboard one? Johnny Tsunami. Fire.
Nice, man.
All right,
nice,
sorry.
nice.
I'm back.
But I don't know when I first was like introduced to it. I think I just like probably saw it, liked it. I liked like the stickers back in the days, like everything about that skateboarding, like
Yeah.
BMX. Like I can remember getting my first freestyling magazine or the first Go BMX or like
CCS.
first Thrashing magazine, and
Yeah.
then like I'd go to the park as a kid, and there was like these dudes who brought like a launch ramp, and they would like. They go off the launch ramp. They'd be doing like hand plants and like simple skateboard tricks. But I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. They had like their grip tape was all like carved out cool with like lightning bolts or skulls or something. And I was like just always attracted to that like wild. I don't know if wild, but you know what I mean.
You
Like
can't even describe
no,
it.
you
That's
can't.
the
But it was
point.
like I was drawn to it, and I don't know if it's just in me. I don't know if it like my parents like weren't into that, or I don't really know a lot of people who are into that, but just drawn like toward that. I guess it'd be more like aggressive style of life. Like even like the first time I heard like a friend of mine at school, he gave me like a tape he made. It had like I think it had Exploited and like Metallica on it, and I was like, whoa, what is this? Because like I'd always want something more aggressive. I listened to like Poison, Motley Crue, and like things I could get my hands on, but then you start diving deeper into like that more aggressive style music. And I'm like, whoa, I want more. I want more. I want more. Same thing with the skating and the biking. Like I wanted to find more. I wanted to find more videos. I wanted to find whatever I could about that just because it gave you like a feeling like, I don't know, you can't describe it, right? Like even like graffiti and like fighting, it all kind of like, for me, it like it gives me that same kind of feeling as like,
It's like a thread.
yeah, dude. It's like, it's like you get your first taste, you want more of it, right? And I think that's why I stayed away
Dude,
from
I
other
remember-
things.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, but like that whole punk rock scene, and then learning about straight edge, and just like you just many levels to it. And it feels like it's in like your own world. It's not like you turn on a radio and you can hear this, or turn on the TV. Well, actually, you could turn on the TV back in the days because I remember, I don't know if it was ESPN or something. I remember turning on the TV, and I just happened to see this like. I wish I could remember the name. It was like a I got a cool story about this too. So like a BMX jam where these dudes are like riding on a car, and there was a dope wall ride. It was like Vision. It was a Vision streetwear thing. So it was like the coolest thing I ever saw at that age. And I was like, never saw it again, but I saw it that one time. And then years later, I found it on YouTube, and I realized what it was, like a Vision streetwear, like street jam or something. But,
yeah.
And kind of like sidetrack here. One of the dudes in the video was Craig Grasso. He was like the first street BMX kind of dude. I was in Vegas like not long ago, a couple years ago. And I'm like out late at night just exploring the streets of Vegas, like up in the art district like I like to do, look in the alleys and stuff and see who's up, see who's painting or whatever, and maybe contribute. And
That's wild, by the way. That's how you know someone can fucking fight and defend themselves. They're like, I'm going to go check out this dark alley by myself in this new state I'm in. Just to see who's back there.
So this guy asked me for like, yo, can I get some change or something? I'm like, yo, for some reason I told him to like get lost. And I was like, yo, you know what? Forget it. Like, here's $10. I don't know what made me do it. Gave him $10, and then we started like talking, and then we just kind of like had a real like deep conversation, and just like our paths were on. The path he took, whatever he was doing. Hope he whatever finds his way, but he just likes certain things. I'm not like on him for it. Like that's what you chose. You chose this lifestyle, whatever. And we started talking and this and that, and then he. For some reason, I was like, BMX came up because it kind of always wraps around. I said, I'm here looking at painting, whatever, what are you doing? And he's, out trying to whatever. And then it came back to BMX, and he started talking about BMX, and he got real like excited about it. And you could see like passionate about it. And I was like, all right, cool. And then he gave me like his business card. He's like, you ever need any carpentry work done or whatever? Here you go. And I looked at it, and then he left, and I was like, man, I know that name. And I was like, Craig Grasso. And I was like, oh God, I know that name. And I looked it up, and it was that dude from the video back in the days. And I was like, damn, this dude was like a pro BMX guy. So I like hit up some BMX dudes. Like, yeah, he's out in that area, and sometimes people see him and stuff. But it was just like that path of like me seeing that video as a kid and then running into this dude years later. For some reason, we crossed paths, but that video was so influential to like my life and like what like I started riding BMX bikes like crazy and just super into it. And like that got me, I don't know, passionate about that, which kind of led to the passion of fighting, and it's all kind of intertwined. But yeah, it was just kind of cool to like cross paths with that dude. You know what I mean? Like how cool is life? And like, so think about that. Like if I want to watch that video, whatever, I want to know who he was. If I wouldn't have listened to the music that they had in like skate bike videos, I wouldn't have learned about punk, or my friend wouldn't have given me that tape, and I wouldn't have kept diving deeper and meeting new things, and then learned about kickboxing and decided to go to the gym, and then fought, and then became a trainer, and then traveled the world, which I never thought I'd do. I would never be in that spot because I was there for a fight, and I wouldn't be there to meet this dude. And I don't know, dude. I mean, maybe it's not as big as I'm putting it out, like making it to be, but it's still like,
no, it's
cool. And then also for me, like sit here and like talk to you, like if I would have chose a different path, I mean, I could have probably still crossed paths with certain people, but I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do that if I didn't try that and just go to the gym and, put all my energy and still all my energy into that, like, I don't know, man. It's just kind of like, it's when I sit back in these moments, like, I guess it's almost like the breath work or meditating. I kind of like get to like slow things down, relax, and like look at what I've done. Like, it's kind of cool. Like sometimes you get like down into yourself. Like maybe if I should have or could have, like maybe if I would have just stayed doing construction or, done whatever and had a stable job, I would have maybe owned a house or done this or done that, but then I would have missed out on everything else. And now I have a kid, and it's like that wouldn't have happened if all this wouldn't. I don't know, dude. It's just weird. Like everything just kind of like falls into place. I don't know. It's so easy to like look at the negative side of like, oh, this, that, and I'm sitting in a hotel room alone, or I'm on an airplane for 8 hours. I'm like, oh, and you're like at a security line, and you're like bitching about it, and you're like, why am I bitching, dude? Like, so many people I know who maybe aren't even around or didn't take that path or didn't pursue something they really enjoyed, and I'm like, yo, why am I complaining about it? Like, I should be so grateful of how lucky my life has turned out so far. You know what I mean? It's just wild to think, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
As you're talking,
I don't know where I went with that. No,
dude, you
gone, dude.
I mean, that's the essence of this podcast. Everything that you just said. It makes me think of Joseph Campbell says this quote, and he says, "Follow your bliss." And he goes, if you follow your bliss, that thing that makes you fired up, that passion, you will be led where there seems to be only doors, and mighty forces will come to your aid at every turn. If you have the courage to follow the passion. Most people don't do that.
But I don't even know if it was like I don't know if it was
You're
like
describing being led.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Which is
By the function of life, just the power of life.
it's just always like, I don't want to say it always just works out, because it doesn't always just work out, but it feels like,
Doesn't
like
it?
the other day I was talking to someone about, I'm going to do this week, and then all of a sudden like another opportunity came up, and then another opportunity. It's like all these things like open up, you know, and like everybody seems to be like this whole, I don't know, I don't want to talk shit on it, but like everybody manifest your destiny. I'm like, dude, you got to actually do something. But sometimes if you don't open your mouth and put it out there, as silly as it sounds to me, even saying it, like I feel like I'm always talking trash on people. But if you don't put it out there, it won't be received, which is, I mean, right? I mean, I feel like sometimes I talk, you know, badly about it, laugh on it. I'm like, like hippy dippy, whatever. But yo, it's true. It's like I put things out there, and then things come back. I don't know. It's crazy. It's just like you put it out there in a positive way without even, not like I'm even trying to do it. Not like, I got to be positive and like, no, dude, I just do it, and then boom, something comes back at you.
It's called divine nonchalance.
But also, is it like maybe
you're not trying?
No, you're not trying. But also, like, is there maybe a possibility that if I don't pay attention to those things, I wouldn't have noticed it, and then I wouldn't
see?
You know what I mean? There's also that too. Maybe people get it. Maybe people get it. Maybe they're having these things happen to them.
Yeah.
But they're not aware of it, and they can't grasp it. Like maybe they got a lot of things shown to them, but also maybe one time they grab it, or they miss so many things that I'm like, well, how many times have I missed something? I don't know. It's like I don't know. And I guess that's a way to enjoy life. I don't know.
100%. And right? I think that there's lessons to learn about manifestation, and there's lessons to learn of just letting go and riding the function of life. And hey, this thing popped up and it seems kind of cool, so I'm just going to say yes and see where the fuck it takes me.
Yeah.
And that's the ride.
Yeah.
Because it's not an adventure if you're not like, you know what, let's just fucking go.
Just do it.
I have no idea what's going to happen, but the more you do that, you get to see that, like, dude, life is really, really, really good at taking care of us if we just let it.
Yeah. No, it is. But I mean, I even look back like in the past, like maybe I've been more, I don't know, stubborn or just not as open to that. You know, like, I don't know about that. And I'd overthink it. But then when you just go, it just happens. Like I've had a lot of people in my life like tell me like, maybe you should do this. And then kind of talk me into it. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do it. And then it always works out. So it's like, that person was placed in my life for a reason to get me to do that, right? Otherwise, I probably would have not done it. So then
break through.
So then there's that too. Like
there's it doesn't come in one form. It comes in every form you're talking about, and that's awesome.
But like all the different people you cross, like that's why I'll stop and talk to a dude. Like you know, like I'll be exploring some weird random. Like people will think it's random. I think it's like, I don't know if it's just from being a kid, like going to the abandoned buildings, and creeping under bridges, or playing in creeks, or what. I don't know. Like so, like when I'm in a new town, like I like look for that area. Like a train track. I'll just walk along it and see what I find. And then sometimes you run into somebody that's like, that's their house. And then you just, hey, what's up? What's up? It's cool. Make sure it's safe. And then you just start talking to them and then get them to tell you a little bit about their life. And then you just kind of learn so much, you know, like from their perspective, because their perspective is completely different than my perspective. Like I go home, I get to have a bed to sleep in. Like they've made their house here. And it's like, you know, whatever they decided to do with their life, they ended up there. But it's just, they always have the best stories. They always have the most interesting, not always like the happiest, but it's still like a person living an adventure just in a different way. But I always find it so intriguing to like listen to them, you know, like, and no matter where I am, I don't know if I bring it out in them, but like a lot of times, like I'll be at somewhere and they're like drawn to me. I don't know. We just kind of have that same like energy field. And they're like, my buddies are always like, why are there always these people talking to you? I'm like, I don't know, dude, but I'm there to listen. Like, and it's just like, I don't know. I find it fascinating. And man, it's always like, yeah, people are people. And I find those people more interesting than a lot of other people. Like I hate going to parties and like being around lots of people, but I'd rather be like around that, you
talking
know, like
to a homeless guy.
Yeah, dude. Or like, you know, like,
I
don't know. It's just like some of the spots I end up is like, you know, dudes are like either, you know, I'm either back there doing something like painting and they're like doing drugs. So it's like always the same kind of like weird cutout spot where it's like behind an abandoned building or like behind where nobody, like a discarded area where nobody else wants to go, but the people that have to go there to do whatever they got to do. You know what I mean? So you find yourself in a lot of interesting places, you know, and then you meet a lot of, I guess, interesting, for lack of a better word, interesting people with.
Now imagine the
wildest
view
stories,
of you
dude.
being in their den of drug
Yeah,
addiction,
yeah.
and you're like, this guy. I mean, dude, you're probably like an angelic force in a lot of these people's lives, because when we're in those
Yeah.
spots, and some dude just comes around, you're like, this dude just came up and started painting, and then I just told him everything, and we had this talk,
Yeah.
and he just loved on me, and like, you know, that changes lives.
Yeah, and then a lot of times we hang out for a long time, and it's like, all right, cool. And you can see a lot of them. I don't know, man. I don't want to might have some sort of mental health issue.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're out there using things to, you know, whatever. But I mean, who doesn't have a mental health issue? You know what I mean? Like, So I feel like on that level, I can kind of relate to them, because I guess in the fighting world, it's kind of like that too, where like you gotta kind of have some issues to want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, most people think they want to fight, or most people have been in a fight, or maybe not been in a fight, or think of the idea of getting in an altercation. Like, you always have this, like, I fantasize like you're better than you are. And then I go out there and move with someone, get hit in the face. I'm like, dude, that was the reason I stopped all these years ago. But like, it's easy to fantasize and think of how it could be, and how, I don't want to say easy, but like, you just think, I could do that too.
Watching a fight is much different than being in front
Even
of somebody
just hitting
trying
a
to
heavy
hit you.
bag. All right, that's exhausting. All right, now I got to hit this heavy bag that's punching at me. Oh man, and I got to think quick. And I got hit, and maybe I got rocked, or I got hit in the body and it hurts. And it's like, now I got to figure out how to solve this problem, you know? And like, and I've heard Teddy Atlas say this, and other trainers say how it like really shows who you are. Like, you can't hide when you're, and it might be with other things too, but like when you're confronted by something like that, where you have to really show what's in you, you know, like it's a real eye opener. It's a real, you know, look at yourself in the mirror and just be like, this is what I am. This is who I am. And sometimes if you don't do it, you could be real down on yourself, but then you have a chance to redeem it and maybe go through it the next time. Like maybe that one time training or a fight, and you're like, man, I know I kind of maybe laid off, or I didn't push it where I could have, or whatever. And it's like, then you got to like think about that and deal with that. And you could either like make excuses up, or face it and then push through it and try to solve it next time. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you got to kind of be a little, to want to do that, to want
100%.
to put yourself in that position where you're going to be exposed. You're going to expose yourself, and you're going to show yourself, and you're going to put yourself in an uncomfortable position, like, or even just want to fight. I mean, I guess I've talked about it like I've been around it so much where I feel like I don't want to say desensitized, but like sometimes I got to remember that it's still a fight. Like, it's still something that
violence.
No, you get hit, like,
It's a big deal.
until you get hit in the face, like, you don't know, like, and you watch it, like, as a kid, I'd watch it on movies, like I said, and I'd be like, yo, this is cool. But then when you really get hit, you're like, dude, you couldn't get hit like that. And then, like, that was always the coolest thing to be like, you know, in my fantasy fight world, I'd be like, oh, you get rocked, like the Rocky thing. You get beat up and then you come back. For some reason, that's always stuck with me, and I've always wanted to be that, like, take a beat and then come back. But it's like, oh, one day I take a beat and now the room's been spinning and I'm dizzy for like a week. Like,
Yeah.
That's not as cool
There's
as I thought it was.
There's times that you can't get up.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
No.
I remember talking years ago when we were hanging out with Jeremy, and I know obviously you were a professional fighter, right? And your notoriety now is like a world-class striking coach.
Which
and
seems weird to hear.
But I'm fascinated. We got into this conversation a while back, but I'm fascinated, especially with how your mind works. Moving from being in front of an opponent fighting to transitioning outside and then watching the game completely and being able to build someone and direct them in the chaos. What is that like?
I think,
Like, how does that change?
I don't, maybe it was always there. I don't know. Maybe it was, I don't know how it changes. Like, I guess it does and it doesn't change, because, I mean, I'll be sitting outside the cage sometimes and I'll be like, I could beat that dude. Like, I could get, you know what I mean? Like, like I talked about before, the fantasy of, you know, being able to do something you can't do. But I'm like, I think I'm pretty good. I think I could do this. But then, yeah, like, reality hits you straight in the face, and you're like, I can't. I just can't recover. I'm not as fast as then age too, I'm not as fast as I used to be, and like little things. But I think to do the job or the path I've taken now, where I'm helping people improve at what they do, is from the experience of going through all of it. You know what I mean? Like, learning to fight, being able to win, lose, and then slowly start helping people go through that and then also there's that period of when you first start training people and you're like, you just think you can do it all the cookie cutter way. And, you just push them harder and harder and harder. And sometimes in the beginning, that's what works for newer people. But then when you start working with more experienced fighters, you got to kind of, I don't know, I think I've said it before, like kind of like fine tuning like an old motorcycle or a car. You got to kind of tweak this and tweak that and I don't know, find what makes them the best. You know what I mean? Like you can't treat everybody the same. You gotta, yeah, I don't know. You gotta just like ride with it. I guess that's just, I mean, when I'm saying it out loud now, like, and we talked about all the stuff before, how my life kind of does that, right? So I kind of do that with them. And then sometimes I'm like, you even say, oh, he's a world-class trainer. Like, I just feel like I'm some dude who just woke up at the beach, came out, and we're just hanging out. But it's like,
that's why you're world class.
But I feel like sometimes that's my downfall because I don't sell myself enough. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to like run that angle. I don't know. Like,
because you're not trying to get anything.
I am, but I'm not. I want to be like the best at what I do. I want to be the best coach, trainer, whatever that I can be that ever was. Like I want to be that. Like otherwise, why am I doing this? Like if you're not going to do something all the way, do it. And then I say that sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, maybe I could be doing it better or pushing it more. Maybe I don't know. Like you always like question yourself. Like,
yeah, 100%.
You're like, oh, that's not good enough. I could do it better. And then you critique yourself or look at what you've done and like, that's not good. I could do it better. Why didn't we do this? Why didn't I do that? And then when I'm working with these individuals and fighters, like they're all so different. So it's like, it's never like painting the same picture twice. You're like, all right, this one's going to have this involved and I got to like help them. It's not like I'm building robots, but I'm like helping them believe in themselves more. I don't know. I don't know what I do.
100.
I just feel like maybe I do it good. I don't know, but I do it good, I guess, because people have me come work their fight camps at very high level athletes. And it's like,
I mean, dude, if I can interrupt you for a sec, like all I'm hearing is like a profound level of reverence for the sport and the other person practicing the sport. And that's what makes somebody world class.
Yeah.
Like having that humility to go in, like that's a student mind frame as a world class striking coach.
I just always feel like I can't let them down. Like they've entrusted in me so much. I gotta like.
So do you take responsibility for the like
if they lose,
win?
they get knocked out or anything? Dude, I feel like that's on me, dude. Like I did that. Sorry, like and they go, oh, it's not. But I feel like it is. It's like you trusted in me to like devise a game plan or do whatever and help you get ready for this. And it's like it didn't go the way it was planned. And I'm like, what did I do? I'm just gonna go hide. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm gonna walk back from the arena. Like. This didn't go as planned.
Can you talk about bouncing back from that? Be like losses, whether you went through a loss or a team goes through a loss. Like, how do you teach these guys? Because it's got to be world ending to them.
I mean, I know it is to me. Like, I couldn't imagine.
I mean, let me say one. Even Jared, dude, like the last couple, the fucking fights, like
fill up 15 hours to talk about that guy.
I mean, through Patty, like he won that fight.
Dude.
Everyone knows he won that fight. What was the one before that where he got gypped too? It was the fight before that.
I don't remember. It's happened way too much to that guy.
Right, exactly my point, dude.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about him. Like, it just shows what kind of character he is, just to keep going.
Yeah, he's got some grit.
Like, if anybody out there could be like, I'm done, forget it, or be like bitter or have excuses, like, yeah, it is this dude. Like, he's had as long as I've known him, he's had not the best. Not the best life handed out to him. Like, they're not the best. If he's choosing cards out of a deck, he's getting the crappy cards every time. Man, it's like, give this dude a break. But I think maybe he needs that. Maybe a person like that needs that to keep him from getting too ahead of himself. I don't know. Like why? What other reason could there be for that? Like, what other reason could there be that he just keeps getting dealt these shitty cards, man? Like.
And we're the ones classifying them as shitty, but we don't know what they're going to turn into for him internally
that's what I mean.
Years down the road.
Like, I think, whatever he does in his life, like, if it helps people and people can see that, relate. I think they could relate to him so much.
Yeah.
I think there's more people in the world that can relate to that than anything else. Like a guy who's like, had a perfect road all the way to the top and won a title and this, and he's like on TV or this or that. But it's like, yeah, you look up to that and you want to be that. But I think a guy like him, you could be like, yeah, dude, like I woke up for work and I got fired and I got another, like, that's more like realistic. Like that's more like what most people's lives are. You know, we can all probably just either talk one way or the other about how great everything is, but like, dude, at the end of the day, it's like, man, I got to pay this bill, or like life is not always what it seems for everybody. You know what I mean? So I guess you just try to portray it in a good light so that other people can see that, see there's hope. And I think he is the ultimate example of hope, man. Like if anything, whatever, he fights again, never fights again, has 25, whatever. I don't care. Like if you discover a Jared Gordon and you see what he's done with his life, like, yo, dude, there is hope, dude. There is a way. There's like, I don't know. And just like how it turns out with his life, what it is right now, it's like, oh man, it couldn't be more beautiful. I don't know. Like whatever, dude. So you're like, didn't win every fight. You're not like a world champion, but like, I know you, I love you, and you're an awesome dude. Like we cross paths for a reason, whatever. Like that doesn't change anything. And people that really care about you, love you, don't need those other things to be like, whatever, dude. Like you're still great, man. You know, like I guess that's what it's all about, right?
100%, dude.
I guess, right, dude. I don't know.
So you take a team into you go through a fight camp.
Yeah.
You got a big fight coming up, right? And
Yeah.
how do you? I mean, you've turned into a mentor, right? You got a lot of life, a lot of experience behind you. How do you walk through? Do these guys lean on you? Like they're just like, I'm not going to be able to bounce back from this. How do you help somebody in that
it's
moment?
so weird because it's like you're with them until the fight and then it's over. And that's like you've gone through a divorce or a breakup.
Damn,
it's dude, it's so
crazy.
weird. It's a weird, and they go through it too. I think that's what I was going to try to talk about before. It's like, I've also had it too where I've like had in the corner of multiple fighters in a night and maybe one guy wins, one guy loses. So you got to come back to the locker room and be like, all right, let's ignore that for now and let's focus on this guy and keep the energy up. And then maybe he loses. Then you got to go back to the next guy. And then he might win, but it's like sometimes they've all lost. And you're just like, this is terrible. What did I do? Yeah. Like sometimes you could have all three win and you're like on top of the world. And then your ego's out the window and you're like, I've done this and I've created that. And then it's like, then you just get immediately brought back down to earth. Like, no. It's just, and it also takes a special type of person to be able to handle this. Like you're early in your career, like, all right, you're winning easier fights, not easier, but you're learning. And then all of a sudden it starts to get levels. It gets harder. Then the next fight's harder. Then you're fighting on TV and it's like, then it just gets to be like you start watching these guys who are, headlining these UFC fights. And it's like, they've been through so many levels and they've created who they are. And it's like, we as fans expect so much out of them, but sometimes they're just worn out. They're beat up, but they've pushed themselves to be able to perform or it's just like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like levels, like you've made it to where that is. And it's
almost like you're in a video game.
Yeah, dude. And you beat the boss and you keep leveling up.
Another final boss. And you, in those each levels, develop qualities for the next level.
Yeah. And then, but then you fight and it's over. It's over.
Which is a mind fuck.
So like when I'm spending time with this fighter or whatever for the amount of time we're doing it, the weeks, the months, whatever, and you're with them kind of like not nonstop, but the week of the fight you're like in a hotel room with them or you're in a whatever and you're with them nonstop until that night and then it's over and you might go with them, have a dinner after or whatever they might do. And then you both get on a plane and sometimes you go separate ways or they go do their own thing for a couple of weeks and it's like you don't see them. And it's like, that's it. It's kind of it's emotionally draining. Like, fight Saturday. By the time Wednesday comes around, I'm finally getting back into it. But like, it takes a lot out of you. It takes like emotionally, physically, and it's just like, just drained, dude. And if they win, it like helps, yes, because you feel a little better. And if they lose, it's like, oh man. And then they got to deal with that too. Like, they're putting themselves out there. Like they're putting themselves in front of
the world,
man. And it's like, that's a lot, dude. That's a lot to like have on your shoulders and. Like everybody wants to be your friend until you lose. And then it's like, how many phone calls you get? You know what I mean? It's like, and to be able to deal with that and then want to go back to the gym and do it again, but once you start getting into camp, you kind of like, I don't know if you forget about that, but you keep chasing that, like that next high or that next, like,
hold on to that good moment.
Yeah, man. You want it back. You want it back and you keep chasing it. But yeah, man, it's a straight up to the top, jump off the cliff, and then start back over, climbing back up that cliff, Yeah, it's a.
How about I'm
wild.
interested, like
I don't know if I maybe to answer your question, I don't know if I help maybe I do and I don't realize help him get through that. You know what I mean? Like I still stay in contact with him. I remember I learned something from my coach. He used to always call me the day after the fight, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. So like I make sure I try to do that or reach out to him in some way the day after the fight. Like he always called me. I was like, I always thought that was like really special, and it like made me like no matter what happened, I won or lost, but he always called me the next day, and I was like, man, that was pretty special, you know?
Yeah, this guy's a real one.
Yeah. It just, and maybe he talk short, you know, whatever, like, but he just called me, you know, I'll always remember that, you know?
Yeah.
Always sticks in my head. And I was like,
What was his name?
Duke Rufus. Yeah, good dude. Passed away. It sucks, but yeah.
Profound impact.
Yeah.
Now you get the ability to carry that through.
I know, dude. Now I get to be that dude.
What a blessing, bro.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to be recognized, and you're not even. That's the beautiful part about everything you're saying is you're not trying to be any sort of guy. You just fell into being this guy, and that's why you're so like revered and respected, dude.
Yeah, it's wild. It really is.
It's
like,
awesome.
I don't know. Just yeah, it's funny. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm just gonna go with it. I don't know.
So are you like a spiritual guy?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't. No, dude. I'm just like moment to moment.
I don't know if anyone's told you, but you're basically the epitome of a spiritually.
But I don't want to
grounded man.
think that, like, dude. I'm like,
no. You have an appreciation for the power of life and the function and where it can take you if you're paying attention and you're listening and you're talking to the guy on the corner or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just like,
which opens you up to the world because a lot of people live like this, man. You know, it's just them in their world, and you know that there's a greater function in and through other people.
But I don't even know that I don't feel like I know that. Like I feel like because I'm so scattered. Like
best part.
I'm just always opened up to all these millions. Like this minute I showed up here, I was like, oh, a heavy bag. Oh, it's like a skateboard. I was like,
dude, we got to do a podcast.
I was like, this is all these cool things over here. I was like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I can't focus, but I think my focus is spread out where I could pick up little things. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just living, trying to figure out life like everybody else, dude.
It's like a different kind of focus almost.
Kind of, yeah.
And sometimes that can be viewed as like bad. Oh, I'm so scattered. It's like, well, what if that was just the way you are? Why does that have to be bad? You know what I mean? A lot of people would be like, oh, this kid's too hyper, this and that.
No, dude, they like in school, the old, it was the 80s, right? So they put me in a special room and like give me all these tests, and then they want to put me on Ritalin because that was like the cool thing back in the days. And yeah, I don't know. Like that didn't work. Like,
school is a cookie cutter
Yeah.
that tries to get you to bend to make sure that you fall in line.
yeah,
right?
and like it was just. I mean, if there was something interesting, maybe I could pay attention to it. But then like I kind of remember like they took me to that, gave me all these tests, and then if I focused on it, I was good at it, and then they expected more out of me. I was like, damn it, I should have pretended like I didn't know what I was doing, and maybe I could have got away with a little more. But yeah, like if you give me a task, I guess I can accomplish it, and then show them that I know what I was talking about, and they're like, oh, all right, now what? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, school, I guess, isn't for everybody. I don't know, like different ways of learning, right? Like I see it with kids, like they can't all learn the same, or even like
no shot.
Going back to what I do for a living, like not everybody learns the same. You can't just coach. You can give them like a basic, like foundation, and then you got to figure out how they're going to work the best. You know, like how am I going to get them to perform the best? And they're not going to be able to do it, like I said, the way they do it or they do it. But if you just, I don't know, I just feel like I can see what helps that person and see what helps that person and feel what they're getting the best out of it. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
Yeah, so maybe it all ties together.
100%.
Jeez.
You're trying to explain the thread of your life and how it all ties together.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful part.
Yeah.
And that's insight, bro.
It's wild.
That's the recognition of a mighty rhythm that is underneath all of it.
It is wild. It is wild. It's just look at it all from a whole. When I sit down and do these things, I kind of feel like, I kind of see the little pieces that all put whatever it is now together.
I can imagine being a new father too, that you're really
that's wild, dude.
Spreading out, looking at things.
Yeah, man. I mean, that changes everything, dude.
Little girl, little boy.
I got a little boy, dude.
Little boy, how old?
He's going to be 2. Coolest thing in the world, man. But just like also to see what he's attracted to. Like maybe I had some sort of influence, like I guess I'd make him watch skate videos when he was young. But like he sees anything skateboarding he loves, or bikes, or like, and of course trucks and whatever. But it's also funny to talked to my partner about that, like how they're drawn to certain things. Like how is he just drawn to trucks and like trains and like things like that, and like skateboards and like bikes and motorcycles. We took him to the monster trucks. I was like, well, he's gonna be scared of this, but dude, he was just like, whoa, this is the coolest thing ever. So now he like, I was in London not too long ago, and I didn't have a backpack to like bring things around when I go explore the city. So I bought this little backpack, and it was kind of small, so I brought it home, and he was just like, oh, backpack. And he just wears it everywhere, and puts all of his trucks in it, and like takes it everywhere. I'm like, so cool. But just to see, and also like, you see yourself in them, like, whoa, dude, like I remember my dad used to say that, like, oh, you're doing things that I did as a kid. And you're like, whatever, Dad, you're just saying that. But then you're like, no, dude, like it's you see the kid, and you're like, how's he doing that? Like certain things he does, like little traits and like the way he behaves, and you're like, wow, dude. And then you're like, how much they pick up on to what you do, and like they listen to everything. So you're like, wow, I gotta really pay attention to what I'm doing. Like, you know, not that I'm gonna steer them in a bad way, but they're little sponges, and they're just, man, it's cool, man. It's just wild, man.
Dude, I think about when I was a kid, and I'm like, you know, parents think that you don't hear shit, don't see shit. You see and hear it
Everything.
all,
Yeah,
bro.
dude, it's wild. You don't even think you do, but you do. Like, yeah.
Like, how did they not know that we fucking heard everything?
Yeah.
And that's like we said, like, I got to be careful doing. It's because it's like when adults are being adults, it doesn't make any sense to the kid's brain.
No.
There's just certain conversations, certain behaviors that it like in your mind, you're just like, you can't compute it.
But I'm also not upset for the life that I was exposed to, because I wouldn't be who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I think I was exposed to certain things that I could make a choice of where I wanted to go, and I wasn't that sheltered. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of saw a lot. So it's like, you know, sometimes I think that you know, raising a kid like
what? You saw a lot.
I mean, just like you know, 80s, dude, 90s, like things are different. Like, you're out there in the world seeing things, or like, you know, my dad was a mason, so I'd be like on a construction site. So like, if you just see, like, you live a different life when you're on a construction, Jason. When you get home, you can't talk like that. Like, it's just, it's a different world. You know what I mean? So like, everything that I was exposed to, like, helped create who I am today. You know, like, you know, how great my mom was, and this and that, and like, it's just everything. Like, so it's like, I don't want to like shelter my kid from too much.
Yeah.
But
the world's different.
The world is different. I mean, it's always going to change. So I you know, we start to sound like old dudes. Like, oh, I remember when I was young, life was like.
I hate it.
But we can't help it, dude.
Yeah.
Things were different, and it is, and it also feels like I have to try to like keep up with how different things are now, dude. Like, even this, like,
Yeah.
this is going out on a platform that I wouldn't even imagine. Even like talking on my phone where I can look at a video. Like, thank God that's possible. So when I go away for fight camps, I can see my family and talk to them. Otherwise, back in the days, you'd be like, what, you have to make a phone call? And if I was like too far away, that would cost so much money. Like,
You got any quarters, bro? I got a phone. Where's a phone booth? You see a phone booth
or even
anywhere?
then, like buying a phone card. Like, it'd
Wild.
cost a fortune to call long distance. So I don't know. This like, but also trying to just keep up with the times. And yeah, I don't know, dude. It's interesting. And I also try not to bother myself with I don't want to say too many negative things. I watch a lot of messed up shit on the internet, but like in news in general, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. I just trying to like, now like there's a whole new focus in life. Like, before it was me and like, where am I going to sleep tonight? Where am I going to hang out? Where am I going to live? Like, it didn't matter. But now it's like, all right, now I got to like do everything that I'm doing to provide for a family, you know? So it's just a different mindset, and still can't change who I am, but it's just trying to be more, I guess, mature or something. I don't know, dude. It's wild.
Well, I'm sure your kid's going to love that aspect about you.
Yeah. But he'll be like...
Is your partner hesitant about him fighting or anything?
Oh,
or?
I don't even want that. I have no interest in him doing that. Like, yeah. I mean, if he wants to, cool. Like, you know, he sees me, he goes, punch. And and I think it's the cutest thing in the world. And of course, I like encourage it, of course. But, yeah, the fighting aspect, like just being around it and seeing what it does, like, yeah, I don't know, maybe we steer you away from that. You know, like you can learn it first, you know, because I think it does help. You know, like I've said before, like it just helped me kind of, I don't know, focus more, just get that energy out. Like, you know, like I said, I was drawn to all that skating, biking, you know, punk rock shows, metal, like that. So I had that, like, how do I get that out? And if I didn't get it out, then I'd just be like wild, you know, like wild animal sometimes, you know, like, but then you go work out and you get to release that. Even now, like if I don't, like we go on a trip or something, and I don't work out for like a couple days, I start getting that like looking at people and like just everything is like, but then I get it out. I'm like, all right, cool. So like to have that in his life, I think he needs that. I'm excited to start working with my nephew, who I think I got his age, he's 7. So he's kind of like really excited about doing it. And like the fact that he wants to do it and then his dad like seems to be interested. So I'm like, dude, it's just so cool where it all comes around again, where like if I didn't do that, I don't know, like maybe I can help whatever him get his energy out. I don't know. And then if my kid wants to do it, sure. But yeah, fighting, dude, that's a whole different thing, dude. Like, I don't know how my parents watched me do it. Like, I know my mom didn't like it. My dad always got excited, but yeah, dude, like, knowing what like, if I got in a fight as a kid, like, I don't want to say as a kid, whatever, but you just thought it was nothing. Like, I remember one time we were hanging out at this parking lot, and Mom, in case you're listening, that wasn't me this time. There was like a fight gonna break out, and this one dude showed up and like grabbed this dude behind the neck and started shaking him. And then that dude like broke free and pop, 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 lit him up and dropped the kid. And the kid got up, he got dropped again. And then he kept like stumbling, and like we went to hang out at the McDonald's, and he was like, oh, wheeze, like all over the place and falling, like couldn't. He was like not with it.
You're concussed, bro.
Yeah, and I didn't think nothing of it. Like, oh, dude, he's cool. Like we just kept propping him up. But now knowing what I know, I'm like, dude, that's not good. Like that stuff's scary. Like so. And then, you know, I thought whatever until I started getting hit. Like, I used to walk through everything. I didn't care. Dude, you hit me, I'd hit myself. I get fired up. And then one day you get hit, you're like, whoa, what is this, an earthquake, dude? Where'd that come from? You know, like, I can't take every shot. Now I'm going to, like, have to rethink of how I'm doing this. Like, I have to learn some defense. And until you, like, understand, like, you're getting hit in your head. And that's like throwing the computer on the ground. And then, why doesn't it work, dude? Like, and it doesn't come back. Like, you know, my knees hurt, my toes hurt, all that hurts, but that's like, I can live with that. You know, my hip will lock up, something stupid. But once this thing starts going, dude, that's like scary. So to think of putting like my kid into that, like even now, like with the fighters, like I just don't want anybody to ever get hurt. You know, like I know it's a hurt business, but I'm trying to help them do whatever they can to avoid getting hurt. You know, like I feel like that's my main job is to have their skills to a level that they're not going to take damage.
Yeah.
But then I'm also making their skills to a level where they're going to do damage to someone else, where it's just, you know, sitting in a corner outside the cage and being like, wow, how wild is this? There's 2 men in there beating each other up. I'm just sitting here. I can have a conversation with you. Everybody else is screaming, and I'm like trying to focus in and dissect what's going on, and to be so far, like, you know, so many years into this, you get so far removed that what is actually happening, you know, it's like, might as be 2 gladiators in the pit, like, and then listening to the crowd behind you being so excited about these 2 men trying to hurt each other. And if there's no action, they all boo. And it's like, I don't know. I guess it's always been that way since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And now again, having kids going to the play area, it's the same thing. It's like watching these little animals. He takes someone's toy, whack. Whoa, hey, all right, don't do that. Like, you know, you're telling them not to hit anybody, and then they come to me and I'm telling you to hit someone. It's just, you can always come back to it, I guess. Like, it's in you. It's in everybody that, like, because, I mean, like, even, you know, when I was living in Florida and you go outside and you watch the ducks, yo, that's wild. It's like the nature is like they're killing each other. Yeah, dude. They're like, oh, we got a cute little duck. Oh, why is he on that duck's back choking it? Oh, that's
Why is he holding that duck underwater?
Wild. Oh, why did that squirrel just throw those baby squirrels out and murdered them? Like,
yeah, dude, my cat freaking goes into the nest of the duck. I went out back. She's got like 3 little baby ducks that are like just hatched, and I'm like,
yeah.
But I'm like, good girl. Why? Because that's your instinct.
That's what, and then
it's in us.
I mean, I wonder if humans weren't ever like, I don't know, that might sound stupid, but like, you know, if we were just feral, wild people, but I guess that's what makes us different is because we have an intelligent aspect of how to control that, you know, like, I don't know, like, go deep into that, I guess.
No, I mean,
wild, but like,
dude, it's violence. Like,
because I could see it in certain fighters. Certain fighters have that like, wow, dude, they are dangerous. Like,
there's some people that are like legitimately, I think, that are in the sport to really just to get off on like hurting people. I've never had that gene. I mean, I feel bad, dude. I mean, I love watching fighting, but when someone really gets hit and they, get stiff or something like that, it's really hard to watch.
I remember the first time seeing a guy get knocked out and his leg was shaking, and I was like, oh, wow, that is wild. I was like sitting, I don't think I was working the guy's corner. Maybe I was working the other guy's corner. I don't remember, but I just remember that first time seeing a guy get like stiffened up. And then like it was earlier in my career, earlier in like doing, being at the gym, fighting, whatever. And you're just like, wow, it's real. Like, you go back to the, fighting in movies or whatever and having fights with your friends outside or something dumb. But it's like, this is serious. Like, this changes people. Like, when you go do that, you're not going to be the same after, It's like, so it's pretty serious, Like, so when people, like, you want your kid to do it, like, I mean, if he wants to, okay, I'm not going to stop anybody. I'm not going to discourage anybody. Just going to learn how to do it properly. But it is so, like I feel like my brain is probably not what it was when I first started, Like, I hate saying it or admitting that, but it is true. It just feels like it's a little knocked loose sometimes, Like, it is but it's also could be like from hockey or racing cars, like, I don't know.
I mean, dude, I had a gnarly childhood. I've broken like 7, 8 bones.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm imbalanced. I've broken both of my feet, my left ankle.
From what though? From skating?
Skating and just getting in fights. I got a boxer fracture. I got
the first time you hit
jumped.
someone.
This dude beat the shit out of me with these gold Jesus rings, and I just blacked out. Like I caught him behind a Rite Aid Plaza. Remember Rite Aid?
Yeah.
So we pulled up there. He's with like his brother. We pull up in the whip. So I was in like a Buick. We get out. I just walk over, hit him, falls, and then I just go black. The anger. I couldn't control it. I come to, and I'm just, dude. It was just a big purple, like the color of that can, just pulp, and I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I did not like it.
No.
But there's not enough like even with like guns, right? I'm not like a big gun guy. I believe in having like, protection if you want it. But, you hold the gun and you can feel the violence and the power.
Yeah.
And it's I don't like it. It's not great.
Yeah, it does bad
You
things.
don't want to ever have to really use that. You know what I mean? People be like, if someone came in my house, I'd shoot him. I'm like, cool. Like, I hope I would too. But I wouldn't want to take a life.
No, because then you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like you think that
People don't realize like that's a big fucking deal, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Maybe it's because I'm older now and like think about things more. But yeah, like I guess you develop more of a conscious. Like even like sparring. Like I can't. Like I didn't mind hitting people and they fell over. Like whatever. But now you're like, I don't really want to hurt them anymore. It's like I even play around with guys and I'm like sometimes I get like you find it and somebody. I know. I probably it's funny me saying this because everybody's like, "Yeah, dude, you always like turn it up." I'm like, and I always think it's the other person turning it up. But yeah, when you're done and it all comes back, you're like, I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but sometimes you get caught up in the moment, and I think that's what happens. You get in a fight and you get caught up in the moment, and boom, you shoot someone or you stab someone, and it's like
You ain't coming back from that.
no, dude. Especially if they're not coming back from it, then like you gotta like hang on to that.
One of the things I appreciate though about fighting when you really get trained and everyone's trying to be tough. And remember like the tap out shirts came out and it was like all these bros want to do the UFC and all that shit. What I appreciate about martial arts is the more trained somebody is, the more humble they are, and the more less there is a need for them to fight, and they can always walk away from it.
You get it out. You get it out of your system, right?
Yeah. Can you hit that fan off? Oh, it's the rain that I'm hearing. Oh,
yeah,
my
dude,
God,
it's beautiful.
Monsoon. That's awesome.
I love this about Florida.
Never mind, leave it on.
I love that about Florida.
Me too.
I was trying not to
And
stare out
it'll
the
be
window.
fucking gorgeous
Yeah.
in 20 minutes.
I was like, what time is it? It's getting dark. And I was like, oh, no, it's Florida. It's supposed to be like 3 or something.
right, I know.
Set the clock to it.
I thought hurricane season was over.
Florida's a special place.
Yeah, dude. So like, that's what I want to ask you. How
Yeah.
about you spend all this time, this energy, fight camp, big fight. You get
Yeah.
in there. This is the plan, and the guy just starts throwing haymakers. You're like, what the? Are you what the?
I mean, it happens. It happens. And it just happens. Like you can't be upset about it. That's just who they are. You could train all you want, and they go out there and don't do what you guys worked on. Like, you can't get mad at the person. Like, it's still a fight at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
it takes a long time, maybe sometimes never, to like be in control of everything in that intense situation. You know, like even now, like I preach it, and also like we moving around, you pop me one good in the face, like it's all out the window. And then the harder I'm trying to hit you, the more I'm getting hit. And I'm like, dude, you tell people to like
control
yeah,
it.
and then you're trying to get nuts. So that's like I don't know. It's like still a fight, dude. Still, I still gotta remember that it's still a fight at the end of the day. It's still a fight, fight. Like there's still that, like this weather outside is wild.
Dude, so like going back to like what we're talking about, like growing up, you know, skateboarding, jumping off shit. I mean, dude, I remember, you'll appreciate this. This is hilarious. What was that Rocky movie? It wasn't Rocky, but Sylvester Stallone. There was a point in the movie where he's going from the top of a building. He takes his belt off, throws it on a zip line, and he fucking zip line.
Was that when they were doing the bombs? The
some action movie.
yeah, was it
I don't know the movie. I was mad young.
Blown Away, maybe? Or
anyways,
is that what it's called?
I'm in the house, right? I'm watching this fucking movie. I see this dude whip off his belt and just get out of trouble. I'm like, this is the coolest shit I ever heard. I go upstairs, Mom, I need a belt.
Yeah.
She goes, well, give me here. I'm going to give you the crappy one because I don't want you to fuck it up. So she gives me the one with like the mild tear in it.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to her, what my plan is. So I go round up all the kids in the neighborhood, you know?
Yeah.
Because we live in like kind of like a poor white neighborhood, like duplex. So it was just a line of houses and everyone had a little fucker, you know, just running around like, come on. So I grabbed this rope, tied it to the top of a tree, tie it to a plastic Fisher-Price basketball hoop. You remember those things? All hollow.
Yep.
Got all the kids in the neighborhood stand on the fucking basketball hoop,
hold it from falling. Yeah, of course.
So I get up there, I get the belt. First, like put an ounce of my weight on it. Boom. Belt snaps, fall down, break my wrist, fracture my elbow.
How far in the air were you?
I mean, dude,
you coming from a roof?
No, I climbed up a tree.
Oh, a tree.
I was probably, you know,
we got to get some
10, 15.
Some height to get it going.
Right, yeah. So that's the point. It's like you go into this, I got off track, but like things don't always go the way you think it's going to go, obviously, in your mind.
Yeah.
Long story short, I look at how I was from an early age. I mean, I was 7, 8 years old doing shit like that, and then skating, and then, you know, getting into fights and wanting to be cool and getting into drugs and robbing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I look back on this now, dude, like I was angry. I had a lot of like, because like when shit happened and I would explode, I'm a pretty chill guy, whatever. But, and then I would just black out and rage. And I realized, like, I think of some of that extreme sports stuff, like I was carrying a lot of like just anger.
Do you think that was just a time period? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if you think of sports and you think of movies and you think of everything that was coming out in that time period, 80s, early 90s, you know, if you look at it now, you're like, yo, that stuff was wild. It was violent. It was, I don't know if it was just a reflection of the times and everybody was like kind of angry, or a different kind of anger though, right? Because now it's like a weird, intense, kind of like hidden, but back then it was like everything was in your face. Like the sports heroes you looked up to, the guys on TV, they were these like Lyle Alzado, like they were like, like the movies were super violent. Like I watch them now and I'm kind of like, even like to go back even further. So I feel like generations before that were more, you know, like World War II, World War One, and then they had kids, and so it's always been this like hard upbringing. You didn't really talk to your parents about emotions, and like it was all like hidden.
Rub some fucking dirt on it.
Yeah, dude, it was like
outside.
That's probably why I stopped fighting too. I was like, oh, my head doesn't feel right, but I'm not going to talk about it. You just hide it. It'll go away. And like I kind of. It's not like my family was like that, but you just grew up seeing that. Like the movie, like I said,
that's where the anger came from for
because
me.
you didn't know how to get out of it. You didn't know how to release it. You didn't know how to like
internalize. And I was alone and alone.
What are you crying
alone.
for? You don't cry. Like you just didn't cry. Like, geez, man, I cried.
No, I want to cry right now. But you're telling me I shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think I was ever told not to cry. I just always do it. I'm like one extreme emotion to the other. But
oh my god, dude, I'm a crier.
But I feel like that was, I don't know, that time. I don't know. It just was like. Emotions were, I don't know, it was just, emotions were different. Everything was different. Like,
yeah, but there needs to be a balance.
The energy
like now,
was different.
Yeah, now it's too much. Now you fucking, offensive. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
See, I appreciate that little bit of me.
That
little part where I appreciate that I still got that thing. It's like, yo, shut the fuck up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, listen, and I'm some, whatever, spiritual guy, and I do breath work and meditation. I love all that, but also, like, shut the fuck up.
Do you think it'll,
It needs to bounce back.
Sorry, that picture is just fucking 80s. Look at that.
Well,
Is that an Iron Maiden vest?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
So
that's
this is my
dope.
buddy Tom Ramsberg. Shout out.
Yeah.
Awesome dude, sober 13 years from the streets of Philadelphia. And he's a published author. You would actually love this fucking book. This is a great book.
Yeah, just the vest, the jacket vest Iron Maiden.
Yeah. That's him, man. He was in the metal scene like back in the day.
Dope, dude. I used to wear this. I got talked into like riding dirt bikes. Well, not talked into whatever. And I got talked into going to a race once, a hare scramble, where you like it's an hour and a half, 2 hour race through the woods.
Yeah.
And I just started wearing this like Maiden long sleeve every time I go race. So then everybody just started calling me Maiden when I'd go. I was like, this is.
And you're like,
this
fuck
is,
yeah,
I was like,
dude.
hell yeah, dude. This is awesome.
Total good idea on the shirt.
I was like, this is
Fucking
great. I still have it. It's got holes in it.
Best
for hitting
decision of
trees.
my life.
Fucking Maiden shirt.
Iron Maiden Strout. Wow.
But yeah, I just think. Do you think it's gonna ever? Do you think it's?
It needs to, bro.
Do you think like the world is gonna? I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad that people are like more open to their feelings and talking about things, and maybe just because we're from a generation where our parents didn't do it. So I mean,
No, it's
I'm not trying to
great.
put on my. I'm not. I don't want to say that. That was a vague. I'm not trying to put anything on my parents. Like.
No, I know
But
you're not.
but I mean like.
Yeah.
Like so she's like so the other day I was watching a cartoon with the kid. I like put on some. We don't watch TV, but sometimes when like my girl's in a different room, I'm like let's watch something. So I put on a Mickey Mouse cartoon from the 50s. Like cool,
Yeah.
dude, that thing was so violent.
Was
I was
it?
like, there was like bugs and they were killing the bugs, and then all of a sudden the bugs got the bug spray and they started like drinking it and bathing in it. Then they became superhuman and they were killing the things that were trying to kill them. Like the fly got in the web and then he killed the spider, and it was like. Oh, and everybody's beating each other up. And I was like, oh, let's turn on Charlie Brown baseball. Like, it just, I couldn't believe, like, you don't think much of it until you
Yeah.
got, like, a little person who was like, oh, like,
This could affect them.
why is that everybody's hitting everybody? And it just seems so, like, aggressive. And it was like, if I was watching alone, I'd be, it's funny, it's amusing, but watching it with that person that could be influenced. So that's what the cartoons were like then. And that was probably a reflection of the times, right?
Sure.
I mean, so that was like 50s, 60s, and then they had kids in the 70s, and then they had us. So, I mean, even like you watch hockey or sport, there was so much more aggression. There was so much more.
They were only coming from like you had the only recipe you knew about was the ones handed down with your family. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is how we cook.
Yeah.
Now it's like like, oh, this is gonna affect my family in a way that I don't want it to.
Yeah.
Our generation, all they had was what was in the bloodline.
Yeah.
And the family and the cousins and the aunts and then their
what-
experience and what they
little
brought back.
outside stuff you were exposed to. It usually it was the neighborhood, so everybody was kind of the same way.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like
There were like little microcosms of
Yeah.
like human growth.
yeah, and it was like everybody's dad was always drunk. It just seemed right. It didn't seem unusual to go to my friend's house and his dad was sleeping in the truck outside. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
he just got home from work. That's just normal.
Yeah.
And then you're like, man, maybe it's not normal. Maybe I
Or
should.
your buddy's like, yeah, I don't really want to go home because my dad usually gets home at this time, and if
Yeah.
he's drunk, I'm gonna get the shit beat out
Yeah,
of me, and I'd
dude.
rather just stay out with you. And you're like, yeah,
But then,
I get it, bro.
And
Sorry.
then you watch movies now, like where they had that, and you're like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Like that shouldn't be normal.
No, not at
but,
all, bro.
But why was it normal? Why? Like they were probably
Because of the times.
That's what I mean. They were probably exposed to it, and it just
It's generational trauma.
It
was normal, bro. Like,
but
you
now,
smack your kids.
But now it's like we're exposed to so much, and like, like even like I've noticed that like you're just exposed. Like, oh, maybe you just got so many more different ways to be exposed to things. I guess that's what I keep saying. We're exposed, but you know what I mean? Like, like there's so many ways to see the world without leaving your house, which it sucks, but
That's
you can.
and we shouldn't be able. I think that like we
But
shouldn't.
it helps and it sucks.
It helps and it sucks.
Yeah.
It's a complete double edged sword.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't know the pain across the states.
No, dude.
It's too much for the heart. It's too much for
Dude.
the mind. Too much for the nervous system.
And then you start looking at it, and then your algorithm gets messed up.
Yeah,
You're
I don't
like-
even wanna look at
I'm
your
like,
algorithm,
what, dude?
dude.
It's terrible. And then I send it to my friends, and they're like, "What's wrong with you, dude?" I'm like, "I don't know. That's just me."
I just lost a fight. I don't want to see this
Yeah.
right now. This is making me depressed.
Yeah, it's just some weird. It's you used to have to like get a bootleg copy of Faces of Death to watch some wild stuff. Now
remember
it's
the
like,
cheater? Remember the cheater box?
yeah, dude. You knew someone that could like plug in something in the back of your box, and you could watch every
Yeah.
channel. Naked chicks on TV.
Yeah,
Now it's
Spice.
like, oh, I accidentally saw naked chicks and 5 guys die on my Instagram. It's like, why is that? What?
I seriously, dude, I
That shouldn't
accidentally
be normal, dude. It shouldn't be like,
Yes.
oh, I saw a dude get caught in a lathe and he spun around and the body parts came off. All right, next. Oh, look at that guy got ran over by a semi. Oh, that motorcycle's and ow, guy flew out of a windshield. Like, and then it's just like, oh, whatever. All right, cool. Oh, flowers. Oh, naked chick. Oh, skateboarding. Like,
right, dude.
and it's all like 30-second. Like, dude, it's oh my god, a half hour went by. What? Whoa.
Half
what
hour,
was I
that's
just
light work.
exposed to, dude?
Yeah.
What is the like? Now my head's rewired, and I'm like,
Dude, listen, I'll tell you this.
I can't imagine being a young person developing and like at least I know it's wrong, but I'm still like watching it.
Yeah.
Where like back in the days, you'd watch that Face of Death, and you'd be like, I shouldn't have watched that because I will never ever unsee that.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger has now ruined
Yes.
every night's sleep for me.
Dude, are you kidding me? I can't go in the forest alone at night. Like,
Yeah, so now I can't have dreams, is what
No,
you're telling
no.
me. I can't even fucking have dreams. I'm not safe to go to sleep.
things,
Cool.
those movies in that time period of like, yeah, it definitely scarred me from like lots of things. And it's like, those are movies, but like you watch the real, like you shouldn't see that. You shouldn't see that. I mean, yeah, the world is real. Yeah, the world is violent. Yeah, the world is not the prettiest place in the. It should be, and it could be, but you shouldn't be exposed to that. You know, like just scrolling on your device that controls you. I don't know, dude.
Listen, man, I work in the behavioral health field with like mental health and substance abuse, and I've sat with thousands of people and heard thousands of stories
Yeah.
about how they grew up and their dads and their mom and what they went through in different parts of the world. And
How do you
lots of meditation.
yeah, I mean, I guess
lots
that
of-
you have to because you're
the emotional is just, it's so much. It's so much.
like it's like the movie The Highlander, right? You chop off their head, you get their powers. So you're like having them tell you things, and you're like taking it all in.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're taking it off them and taking it onto yourself, and then you have to release it somewhere, right? Do you not? I mean, how do you? It's like a cop. Like I could imagine being in a position where everybody hates you.
I couldn't imagine.
You see, like you pull someone over, you don't know what's going to happen, and they already hate you, and especially nowadays, everybody hates you, and it's like.
I show so much
How'd
love.
you go home,
if
dude,
I get-
knowing that everybody hates you, dude? Like,
Dude, if I get pulled over, I'm putting both of my hands outside the driver.
Also, I think
just
that's
to let them, just so they can chill.
but I think that's the time we came from too. Where it was like, I mean, yeah,
Yes, sir,
you
no,
mess
sir, type
around,
shit, yeah.
you mess around, you might
around,
get smacked.
find
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like I ain't talking back to a cop. Like for one, I'm trying to talk myself out of getting in trouble. Like I ain't trying to make them mad where I'm going to just dig my whole deep. I did that once. The cop said something, I lipped off, and I got like, and the guy's like, "Yo, Jason, chill out." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what am I doing, dude? This is a cop." Like, yeah, maybe he's being a dick, but
Yeah, but this guy's got to deal with a lot.
yeah, like I'm being a dick to him, then he's got obviously more. It's his job to like keep me in line. If I'm like getting out of line, it's making his job a lot easier.
See, there was respect, dude. We learned about respect, and
Yeah.
there's not enough respect for the fact that there's a whole other being behind these eyes with a whole world that had parents and hurt and pain and love and
Yeah,
joy.
yeah. You don't know
And
where they came from. You don't know what.
and there's not enough respect of the. There's just so much in that, dude. There's a heart. There's so much.
It's
There's-
hard to think of that though, even on a daily basis.
It
Of
is.
like driving the car and someone cuts you off, you're like, you don't know what that person in that car is dealing with.
You
They're
can drive
probably-
into the hospital because their mom's
Yeah,
about to
they're
take
late
their
for
last
work,
breath.
or
Yeah.
like they've had. Yeah, they don't know, dude. And everybody always says that you don't know, but it's you really got to like sit back and be like, yeah, you don't know, because you don't. We don't. Everybody's got our own little battles we're dealing with. You know what I mean?
And that's where you learn to let your thoughts be free range and not judge them.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, I'm getting mad at a hunk
But
of
it's
metal
so
that's
easy
not
to
moving.
judge, dude. Sometimes
of course, it's what we do. We're humans.
fun, dude.
Of course.
Sometimes judging everything.
That's what I'm
like,
saying. You can't
talking
get too
shit,
well.
like, yo,
Talk
look at
some
that dude.
shit.
I know. I don't know.
Listen, I talk. Brett's one of my dear friends and my roommate. I talk mad shit, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like I'm not being all right. So like our humor, we love like the absurd Anchorman, Happy
Oh, yeah.
Gilmore,
Yeah.
like where you're just treating someone like a piece of shit, and you're like, that's so absurd to talk to a person like that it's funny. Now I don't actually treat people like that. I'm very kind, I think, and loving, but it's fun to fuck around and
It
talk
is.
shit like that.
I mean, yeah, like my group of friends, we all talk shit on each other. That's just what
It's
it
the
is.
best.
And then you start meeting the younger generation. I'm like, why do I feel weird being that way? I'm like, I can't talk shit. Someone's feelings got hurt or something. Like, I don't know. Like,
Bro, world's cold. Bring a sweater. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to learn. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. If you're gonna listen, if you're walking around looking for things to get offended by, you're a victim.
Yeah.
You're a victim, and it's you versus the world. And the essence of everything in your perspective, it's not Jason versus the world. It's Jason, and I'm a part of the world. And look at how magical it is. And if I make this decision, have this thought, and talk to this person, and say this thing, I get led into Japan and this and striking coach, and it's so fucking cool. You're there. You're a part of it. You're not a victim of it.
Yeah.
You're a part of the chaos of life.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be. I mean, I shouldn't say should, but like, how's it going being offended by everything?
Yeah.
How you doing? You having fun? Because you look fucking miserable and angry.
But then you need a hobby, right?
You need a hobby, yeah.
Right? You need something else to focus on. Like
And that's the thing. We're inside getting offended by all this shit that's just...
But just think of all the people that like find like, you know, that CrossFit's big or whatever, and like people love that. Like it makes
CrossFit saved my ass, dude.
But it's
for
like,
sure.
yeah, it's like, I mean, I think it's great. It's weird that you compete in exercising. I guess that's what I do too. I don't know. It's not weird when I say that.
I mean,
but it's also like you still put yourself in that. You got to push yourself. You got to like make yourself feel horrible and exhausted, and then push through it. And then I did it, and then your friend's excited about it. Oh man! And then you kind of build that community, and you find that like a new outlet. It don't matter what it is. And I don't know why I chose CrossFit, but like a new way to channel that energy, because we all have energy to like have to like get it out and then charge up the battery again, right? Like that stupid electric car I got. I drive it, and then I got to sit there and recharge it. So it's like a human too, right? You got to like get it out. You can't just have high charge all the time.
You can't do it.
Because then you're always like finding things to be upset about or whatever. Like, oh, this is stupid. Like,
Yeah.
Get it out, dude. Like, you wear yourself out, dude. I'm like, oh, I just want to get and lay down or eat, or like, I don't care about anything right now. And then you charge it back up. Then you get that, you get it out. Then you do it all over again.
And the beauty is finding things that take energy that charge you up. Like, this is charging me up right now. This has been like the highlight. As soon as I asked you, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, are you definitely coming? Because I got to say. And like, dude, I'll go out and like, I make a new design. I'm like, bro, I just screen printed this shirt and I did this. And like, I'm out there sweating in Florida, like just but it's touching that piece of me where I was 12 years old, finding a fucking sheet of plywood, grabbing 2x4s from the sides of people's houses and finding nails on the ground and building it and making a jump and just trying to do a kickflip off it for 13 hours straight. And I was good because that was the first thing I was sure that I loved.
Yeah.
And I was okay.
But you didn't know it. Like, you didn't.
You're right. I didn't know it.
You're not like, I love this. Like, you didn't make a statement about it and post
you
it on
didn't make
Instagram like, oh, I'm in love with this. Like, no, dude, you just were in, like, you didn't even know what love was, but that was the thing that made sense to you, I guess, in your head, which is wild. Like, oh, I'm just hanging out in the parking lot on this curb for hours.
Dude, a company part, my buddy George Peterson, shout out my meditation teacher, he sent me old videos of him skating. He did this kickflip Manny in this company. He's from like New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I used to skate in a company parking lot like that in Syracuse for hours.
Oh yeah, then you find like a parking garage in the winter because of snow, and you had to like hang out.
We'd go in the basement.
Yeah.
Dude.
On a curb, dude. Like if you just told somebody like that didn't know anything about it, like, yeah, we just hung out on this curb for like 6 hours. We drove an hour to get there. 6 of us in somebody's car that had a license, and you pulled all your stuff out of the trunk, and then we just
drinking
hang out.
soda, no water,
and skating on a curb, dude. It's just like, oh, I guess that makes sense. But now I can like look at it like now it does make sense because like, as it's more like accepted. Like there's a skate park in every town. It's like,
yeah, dude, skateboarding being accepted is like one of the coolest things.
Kind of is, dude.
I fucking love skateboarding, bro.
I just love skate parks now because you can go. Most of them you can go painting, and like it's chill. Like
I would love to tag some stuff. So what have you done? Like Wynwood, just tagging shit? Like you?
Well, I mean, I guess so. Just Wynwood's a cool neighborhood. It's definitely not gonna. I don't think it'll be there much longer. It seems like a lot of the buildings are getting torn down, which is exposing a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, I don't know how to talk about that neighborhood. It just feels like it was like nobody ever wanted to go there, and then people started painting it, and then it became like a spot to go paint, which I don't know. It's kind of cool. I guess I just like doing it because like I fell back in love with it, and like when I did it younger, it was like you get arrested, like people get their houses raided. Like we get stopped and search for markers and stuff, and like it was like it was like a big deal, and just being around that, I'm still like, scared, like, so even though like I'll go to a legal spot or like I'll pretend, like, I don't know if it's legal because I don't ask, but it's a legal spot, but I'm like, still like have that like, I shouldn't be here. So I get that little rush off of it, you know what I mean? And there's like 5 other dudes painting and they're like, oh, what's up? And I'm like, trying to get it done quick because I know it's like probably going to get arrested, but you're not going to get arrested. So still get that like fun feeling of it.
When I'm watching your stories, I get an essence of like everything we're talking about growing up. I'm like, this dude.
That's
like,
what it is, dude. And it's like,
I'm like, I gotta fucking go like hang out, like just follow this guy around. And I guarantee I would have a killer fucking day.
so like when I go to London, there's like a couple spots I go to. I go to like the Brick Lane neighborhood. I go to South Bank Skate Park, which has been there forever, right? And just watch people skate there.
You said London, right?
Yeah, London. Yeah. There's that South Bank. It's like a famous skate park. And just hang out there and, like, people paint the walls, so sometimes I paint them too, like, but it's just cool to like, I'm still doing the same things I'd be doing as a kid, you know what I mean?
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's so fun. It really is. And now you meet like people our age and like go to skate shops. Like there's a pharmacy skate shop in Las Vegas next to this coffee shop I go to all the time. So I stop in there and they got a big screen in the back and I'll just sit there and chill and watch skate videos because like that's what you did as a kid. And it just,
too, bro.
Dude, it's just cool, man. Like there's another shop I go to there and like I know a dude who used to be in this band and now he's got his own store and I go there and say hi to him and it's like all these cool friends around the world that are kind of all in the same kind of little like circle and all into the same things and all roughly around the same age, which makes sense. But it's just cool to have had that, to be a part of it, and then still doing it today. Like you run into some cool, like you run into cool people because of it. Like
they say, like the creative adult is the one who like their inner child made it. The creative adult is the one that didn't get like dimmed by the world.
No, right?
That saw it, let the world be the world, and was like, I'm still gonna go fucking paint walls.
Yeah.
How about that?
I still got a BMX bike.
I'm still gonna put on fucking Girls Yeah Right video when I get home and just chill and watch it.
Yeah.
To recharge.
Yeah, sometimes
It's just not VHS anymore.
No, dude, it's like which is nicer. Like I'll go sometimes at the gym when I get there early. When I was living up here and I go to Kill Cliff and I'd go in the room where you can watch like a TV to watch fights and stuff, and I'd put on the photosynthesis Alien Workshop videos and like just watch those, just sit back and then let it play. So like
You're
whoever walks
supposed to
in,
be watching tape.
they walk in and like Jason was watching that.
Aren't you like the world class striking coach? Is this how you train? Yeah, dude, it works out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, but you also need other things to do so that you're not get burnt out.
Yeah.
Because you can get burned out so easily.
Each one influences the other.
Yeah, dude. Like when I started like riding dirt bikes, like I got obsessed about that. I used to drive like my friend lived like further out in New Jersey, and I lived in Jersey City, so I'd borrow a car and drive out there, and I had like 3 hours to kill. It'd take like an hour to get there. I'd get there, and I built this little track in the woods behind his house, and I'd just go back there and practice. And I'd build like berms and jumps, and I'd just practice and turning and leaning the bike and getting the foot in the right position. I'd do it for like an hour nonstop, get back in the car and drive. And I'd come back like whenever I had free time, I'd go out there and just practice. Like I didn't know what I was doing. Like the first time he gave me a bike, he's like, "You don't want to ride a dirt bike?" I was like, "Yeah, dude." I had no idea, dude. I couldn't afford one as a kid, so I rode BMX bikes, but I always wanted one. So I got in his little Honda 125 4-stroke, and I just went around the house. And I was like, well, I'll just figure out how to shift. And I put my feet down and try to stop, and I was like running into stuff. And then he's like, I'm like, "Do you mind if I go back in this field in the woods?" He's like, "All right, cool." And I went back there, dude, and I just made this track. And he's like, "I just heard this dude laughing back there." I was there forever. I didn't know how to stop. I was hitting trees, and I just, like I said, put my foot down like a bike, and I'd like just crash nonstop. But the most fun I've had in my like 30s and in my life, dude, was just like, dude. And then he'd come back there with his, and we both had a bike. I had like I think I bought a Yamaha TT 125, so we had little bikes, and we just, dude, laughing and giggling. And it was raining, so we're covered in mud, and it was just like, dude, this is so cool. It's like a whole new world I've been opened up to, and then I got obsessed with that, and then I bought a little bike. I bought a DRZ 400 because he's like, "Oh, that's a cool bike on off road." And then I bought I was like, "Well, I want to get like a proper off road dirt bike," and I was like, I rode his Yamaha 250. I was like, "Let me see how this feels." Went all right, and then my buddy had a KTM 300 2-stroke. I was like, "Let me try this." And I was like, dude, that thing scared the shit out of me. And I was like, I want that. So then I saved up some money. I went to the store and I bought a Husqvarna TE 300, the 2-stroke. Dude, that thing ripped, dude. And then they started telling me about the CR 500 thing. And I was like, well, I got to buy one of those. So I hunted down an old 1989 CR500 and I bought that thing and started riding that thing in the woods. And that thing was a monster,
Wild,
dude.
man.
Oh, man. 500C two-stroke, man. That thing, so fun. So
That's
much
one thing
fun.
I never got
Then they
into.
brought me to a race. Like, let's go do a race. I'm like, oh, and I remember being on the track and being like, what am I doing out here? People are flying by. I saw these two dudes fly by, and I finally caught up to them. One dude just crashed, like, bad. And I was like, what am I doing out here? I shouldn't be. This is so stupid. I'm in people's way. I'm just, like, yelling at myself in the helmet. I'm like, I can't get over these rocks, and I keep sliding on these roots. And then I was like, oh, dude. And then I just kept getting back on it. And every weekend I'd go talk to him, like, we gotta go ride. And I just kept wanting more. And I was like, I'm going to the next race. And then I'm going to the next race. Then that next year, I'm like, dude, I'm doing every race there is. I don't care what I place. And I did every race that whole season. And then I ended up winning the whole series. I think it's just because I went to so many, and I got the most points. But I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just falling back into obsession and being like, I'm going to try to do this to the best I could do. I'd go take my bike out in Jersey City. There was this like old wasteland. It was probably like buried toxic waste, but I was like, whatever, dude. And I built this little figure 8 track so I could practice turning and like really leaning over and getting up on the tank. And I'd watch videos of dudes doing it, and like guys I'd ride with, watching them how they did it, and like just trying to get better, like how to go over rocks and roots and just constantly improving. And then like after a while, like I don't even sit down anymore. I'm like, I can't believe I used to sit on this bike. Now I just stand and rip, and it's like, dude, it's so much fun. And then I got to meet a whole new crew of people doing that, and that would take my mind off of training people. So throughout the week, I'd focus on the fighters, I'd focus on whatever the gym activities, and then I can go get lost and do something else and just be completely lost and like in something else. And then you can switch back on. I feel like that's kind of what I do with painting. I'm like, yo, I'll paint something. I'll be like, yo, 4 hours just went by, like gone like that. And I was like, yo, this is wild. But it's like, it gets your mind off everything else. And then you can focus back, like whatever else is going on in life, like you have your different sections, family, work, this, that, but you just keep breaking it up. And I guess it's not, I don't know, it sounds like I'm just trying to distract myself from certain things, but I think it's just a redirection of energy, right, dude?
Yeah, I think you're following.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're following.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like your kid, right? Like, why is he so enamored by this truck?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
It's
why when my cousin Chris, I remember it was like he was on a skateboard and he ollied up and the porch was like,
yeah,
maybe a foot high. And I'm like, how did he get that to stick to his feet?
Right, dude.
And I was, dude, it was done. It was over with.
First time you see that, I remember first time I saw some dude bunny hop a parking cone. I think he was on a Hutch Trick Star. And it was just like, how did he get so high? Like I couldn't figure out. Then I started learning how to bunny hop, and I was like, eventually I could do a garbage can. I was like, that was the cool. Like, but that first moment you see it, right? You're like, how? What? I want to do that. How do I do that?
So, do you think that whatever our creator is, do you think that like the book is written a little bit like they place the spark in that just a little bit? Like if he sees this dude ollie, like
right, dude?
It's gonna take him where he needs to go.
But maybe you would have seen something else. Like I don't know. Like maybe if you would have seen the
What if I was fucking looking the other way?
Or maybe if you were like at a courtroom and you saw a lawyer and you're like, I want to do that. Like, or I want to be a doctor. Like what was placed in front of us? And why? Why was that placed? But maybe,
I think it's so cool to not know. I think it's
but
so
isn't
cool.
that what school's supposed to do? It's supposed to expose you to different things. And I guess they do in a certain way. Like, but none of those things appealed to me. Like
yeah. I think it's there to train you to be a fucking robot and a worker.
I guess. I mean,
partly.
that's a one way to look at it. But
it's not for the Jasons.
No, it's
I
not.
know for
No, it's
sure
not.
it's not.
It's not.
Because we were looked at like the bad kid.
Yeah.
You drop out,
Yeah.
Like, you're going to do this, be bad. And it would be like, those are bad kids.
I mean, I had a teacher, I think, tell me I wasn't going to make it to 21, either dead or in jail. Like, maybe it was 18, probably 21. I'll give her some credit. And I don't blame her. Like, the things I was doing, I was trying to entertain myself while I was at this building. Like, none of the things they didn't grab my attention enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if they would have, now there's so many different methods of learning. It's like it's so cool to see that, right? Like there's not like you got to do it like this or it's not going to work. Like,
dude, you know what though? But if it was a cool teacher, like I remember Mr. Mangalelli, he was an English teacher and he always knew when I was blazing in the morning.
Yeah.
And he would go like this to me. You know what I mean? There's actually a really funny guy on Instagram who does these skits of like POV. Your teacher knows that you just ripped the ball or something. He's the funniest shit. But I remember like I was excited about English because he was the teacher.
Yeah.
He was the dynamic, and he knew how to find ways that I needed to learn. And he took the time, like the same way you do with your fighters. He's like, oh, not the whole class can't just get this script. I got to change it up for the Scots and then these guys and then be very blunt with these guys. And he was in it and appreciated the art of teaching.
I mean, that's what it should be, right?
Fuck yeah. So it's like, is it the subject or is it the one who's teaching the subject?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, but shouldn't he? I mean, he had the awareness enough to know that that's how it should be done.
Yeah.
And that's what made him special.
And he liked his life enough to give that energy to it where, Mrs. Whoever, who was just had like pounds of chalk on the side of her arm because she wouldn't use the eraser, you didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to history class because she was the worst.
Yeah.
But history's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's all the delivery, right?
Maybe.
I mean, just whoever is delivering.
I mean, there's plenty of people who can teach you how to snap a jab and that you're supposed to hit with your two front fingers, right?
Yeah.
There's every coach can teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
One's labeled the world-class striker.
Yeah, it's wild.
Why?
I think it's the delivery.
So
just how you present it to someone, you know what I mean?
So that's the respect of you, man. Is like you have this way, like you appreciate the art of training and you do it in a way you have such fun, and you're the one who's like, I got to go rip a dirt bike in a figure 8 for 3 hours. If you want me to be a good coach, I got to go do this. And so like that art of delivery and paying attention to the nuances of someone and how they may need a Tai Chi approach rather than a karate approach, that's what makes greatness, dude.
Yeah.
And
isn't it crazy that it takes this long to kind of figure it all out?
Yeah, because I'm not sure that you can teach.
No,
I think life is the only way to teach that.
They've all the different things I've been into help each other. Like getting detail oriented in this versus that, and learn how to ride the bike better. This and learning how to bunny hop helped me do that. Like, because as a kid, none of it all. Like the way I trained people in the beginning to the way I train now is completely different. It has evolved so much, and I guess just being able to see that maybe the way I did it in the beginning wasn't the best way. I was getting results, but it wasn't the best way to do it.
I know exactly.
But that's experience, right, dude? With everything, it just like you look at anybody's progression throughout life, they always.
My question
except for like
is
Rodney Mullen, who could do everything in the beginning.
Yeah, and he was like literally creating tricks. Like, what the fuck?
Wild.
Dark slide.
Certain
What the hell's the
people,
matter
certain
with you?
people, like you're like
Day One Song.
Wow,
Genius.
Wild, dude.
And dude, so my thing is like I think about all the time. Why did it take so like I mentioned the cue thing, right? Like so when I was in CrossFit, I hated doing the snatch.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It just sucked. It's very, very hard Olympic movement.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it, trying it for years and just suck. 3 years in, this one coach goes, stop trying to pull the bar up of your head and just fall underneath it and catch it.
Yeah.
That one cue locked everything into place. And I remember thinking like, all right, number one, that's awesome how a coach can just walk by, see the zoom out approach like a trainer, give you a cue, and everything falls into place. And when the last 2 years was a struggle. And then my question is like, why the fuck did it take 2 years to hear that and do it?
You wouldn't have been able to. Maybe you heard it earlier, but didn't know how to digest it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this guy's experience knew the right time to give it to you. Like you could have been told that earlier and didn't know how to process it or deal with it. And maybe you were told it, but then also you get told it at the right time, like the time you saw the ollie. You got exposed to it at the right time, right? And then it all makes sense because you were able to see. You were able to like take it in and like deal with it. Like, the soil wasn't ready yet. You keep putting the seeds in, man, nothing's coming out. But it's like, all right, now this, you put whatever in it, you groomed it, and it's like now it grows because you were able to absorb that then. You were able to understand what he could, from his experience, he probably read the energy that now's the time.
I was going to put this back on you with training. When you're training, do you have those moments where you're like, I want to tell this kid this or this guy this, but he's not ready yet?
Yeah, I don't know if I recognize that until I think I just do it, or maybe I've been like, I've told you that before. Like I've been telling you this, but then sometimes it takes a while for them to get it, and then as you've been doing it longer, I don't know if I'm not to say like I know the time to tell them, like, but it almost seems
intuition.
That way, like, yeah, like That's why you work with someone for a long period of time, where it's like you slowly build, and they trust, and you build, and they trust, and it just goes from there. And sometimes it's like, I don't even have to be with them all the time, but like, I have a guy now I work with where it's like, I can now see him for, a month or weeks, and then we get together, and like after 2 days, boom, it's clicking, and it's just, we're on. We got that energy, and it's like, something works between us. I mean, because he could be working with everybody else, and then for some reason when we get together, boom, it just happens. Like, I don't know. Not that I'm showing anything different, but it's like the energy between.
It's the energy, it's a
vibration. But like even the certain people that I still work with, it just works. Like I don't know, man. I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that I like it and love it so much that that's why it all works. I don't know. Like, because I could feel it. I could feel also like I'm with a guy, I've been with him for a while, first 2 days, and then all of a sudden it starts getting in that groove, and then we kind of like on that same wavelength, we just jump right back into it, It's cool. It's cool to be able to like do that after all these years,
Yeah.
But that just takes time, man. Just sticking with something and just doing it over and over and over till you figure out how to, sew that blanket. Oh, wow, now it looks like a blanket instead of like a weird shaped Utah or something.
Yeah. Dude, and I think there's like, there's just shit that you have to, there's stuff you have to experience that you can't teach and read and see it on a reel and be like, oh, I'm going to do that. And I'm this now and I'm that. And I think that's like, before we had the internet, that was like that, those generations, you knew you had to put in work. You had to get shitty jobs. You had to do shitty work. You had to carry bags of concrete up the ladder, and that was just a grunt work, and you got to do grunt work before you can get to any type of.
But with anything, you got to put in. Like back then, you had to like put in work so people know who you were. Like the graffiti world. Like you couldn't just like open up your phone and be like, oh, this dude's up there. Like he could have painted that in his backyard. Like, a guy like MQ would like put in work for years so that they know who he is. And like now he's like, you can kind of see him, and like people in the graph world or other worlds know who he is, like J.A., Cope, Dessa from New York. Like they put in so much work that, like people, the cause, right? I mean, people know who he is through other things now, but like, back in the days, like he had to put in his work, and he was doing the things with the bus stops. He'd open up the display, put in his own display, change like the ad to have his like cause and the skull and whatever. And so then like, he had to put in work. You had to put in your work so that you can get the fame and people know who you are. Now I feel like you still got to put in work, I guess, in the internet, because it still ain't easy, right? I mean, like the Jake Pauls, the Logan Pauls, they had to still put in work.
100%.
I mean, granted, there was a platform that helped them kind of speed up the process, maybe, but they still like, they've been doing this for how long? Like since they were kids.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, why is this guy in the boxing world? But he still had to train hard. He still has to like promote himself enough so that people know who he is, so he can be in that limelight. So I guess it's just a different, but there's also people that like bullshit, right? They're like, you meet them in real life, like, oh, that's not you. Like I see you on the phone or whatever.
And those guys get found out, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think like it's authenticity, it's energy, it's vibration. Yeah. And if you're authentically being yourself and putting in that work, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time, because you can't give yourself to love, and that love doesn't win.
Yeah, it doesn't come back.
It's the ultimate. Nothing else exists aside from that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Dude, hour 40.
There we go.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
My
I appreciate
God,
it,
I
bro.
hope this is what we planned on, but this is cool.
I didn't plan. I wanted it to be exactly this.
I like this cool little conversation, right?
Yeah,
just
man.
Make you think. Yeah, I don't know.
I appreciate you.
Keep riding it, right?
That's it.
Ride
bro.
it till the end, man.
Dude, it's like a tide of the ocean, man. It rolls in, it rolls back. It's never going to be good, and it's never going to always be bad, but life goes on.
Sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it erodes the shore, sometimes it takes everything away.
That's it, bro.
But it still moves, right, brother?
Appreciate you, man.
My guy.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Yep.